Way. No, let me tell y'all something. When you cut a narcissist off, when you stop feeding that ego buffet, baby, they don't just sit quiet and move on like normal folks. Oh no. Narcissists act like you just flipped off their spotlight. They spiral, they scheme, and they show you exactly who they really are. So buckle up. Way. Because when you stop talking to a narcissist, you ain't just going silent. You're starting a war they never thought they'd lose. When you stop talking to a narcissist, way, the first thing they do is panic, not the kind where you cry in the shower. No, narcissist panic is loud, dramatic, and attention hungry. Away, it's like taking away the lead actor's spotlight in the middle of a show. They don't sit down quietly and process things like mature adults. Instead, they launch into full theatrical mode. I'm talking Oscar-level performance, y'all. They go from 0 to Shakespeare in seconds. Because to them, away, your silence ain't just silence, it's rejection, and they don't handle rejection, they perform it. Suddenly, they become the star of a brand new soap opera called How Dare You Ignore Me. They'll start telling everyone who listened that you changed, that you turned cold, or that you've always had problems. They narrate the story in a way where they're the helpless, innocent victim, and you're the cruel villain who abandoned them for no reason. They'll spin that story like a DJ on Friday night, remixing it for every new ear. It's not about truth, it's about being seen. Narcissists don't want peace, they want an audience. And they won't just talk behind your back. They'll go public if they can. Expect cryptic posts, attention-seeking stories, emotional tweets, and maybe even dramatic quotes that just happen to line up with your situation. You'll be scrolling your feed thinking, is that about me? And yes, it is. They want you to see it. That drama is bait. They're trying to fish your attention out of the silence. It's petty, it's obvious, but to them, it's a strategy. You see, narcissists don't miss you as a person. What they miss is the power they had when you responded, when you explained yourself, when you tried to keep the peace. Now that you've gone silent, they're scrambling to regain control. And since they can't control you directly, they start controlling the narrative. They'll cry to your mutual friends. They'll twist situations, leave out context, even exaggerate or fabricate. It's all part of the show. And the main goal, to make themselves look good and keep the attention flowing. But here's where it gets real messy. The more they realize you're not reacting, the more outrageous the drama becomes. They might bring up old wounds, accuse you of things you never did, or even claim you were the narcissist. Oh yeah, they flip that script real fast. Why? Because silence scares them. When you don't explain, when you don't defend, they lose their grip on your emotions. And losing that power is like oxygen being cut off. They suffocate in their own need for control. That's when the performance turns desperate. They'll stir chaos, create tension in your circles, maybe even try to accidentally run into you. They can't stand the idea of being ignored. Silence to a narcissist is like a vacuum, and they'll try to fill it with noise, mess, and as much drama as they can produce. And let me tell you, they don't run out of energy when it comes to playing the part of a wounded star. They'll cry on cue, blame with passion, and do everything in their power to make the silence all about them. When you stop talking to a narcissist, baby, the guilt tripping starts faster than a text message with a sad face emoji. At first, they don't blow up. They go subtle. It starts with little feelers. A message like, I just hope you're okay, or I never meant to hurt you, but don't be fooled. That ain't healing. That's bait. It's emotional fishing. They want to tug on your heartstrings just enough so you come back swinging that door open. Because if you feel bad, they feel powerful again. Narcissists know you're a good person. That's their favorite weapon, your kindness. So they dress up their manipulation and sympathy. They say things like, I gave you everything. Or I always loved you more than anyone else did. That's not a confession, it's a guilt grenade. And when it hits, you start second guessing your own decision. You start wondering if maybe you were too cold, too harsh, too distant. That's exactly what they want. Not closure, not honesty. Just control through shame. You see, narcissists are masters of flipping the script. 1 minute they're ignoring your feelings. And the next, they're acting like they're the ones who were mistreated. They'll remind you of everything they did for you, but somehow forget all the ways they drained you. They'll say things like, I never gave up on you, while conveniently skipping the fact that they gaslit you for months. It's emotional manipulation with a side of selective memory. And they love to play the self-blame game in public. You'll see posts like, Or way, I guess I was never enough, or people always leave even when you give your whole heart. You read it and your chest tightens. Way. But that message ain't meant for the world, it's aimed straight at you. They want you to feel like you abandoned someone broken, not someone dangerous. Way. It's not real regret, it's a strategy designed to pull you back through guilt-soaked storytelling. But don't get it twisted. Once you fall for the guilt and re-engage, the whole tune changes. That soft, sorry tone turns sharp real quick. Now it's, where have you been? Or, so now you want to talk. See, that guilt trip was just a ticket. Way. Around, trip back to their control. Because it was never about reconciliation. It was about restoring the spotlight they lost when you went quiet. Way. And once they get your attention again, it's like the guilt never happened. The minute you open that door, they act like you owed it to them all along. And here's the cruel twist. They make you feel like silence was the wrong thing to do. That walking away made you heartless. That going no contact was you being immature or unfair. They went on a thing, won't reflect on their actions. They just want to sit in that victim chair and hold a mirror up to you, saying, look what you did. And if you're not careful, wait, you'll start to believe it. Not because it's true, because they said it's so soft, so sincere, so convincing, like it had to be real. Now, once you go quiet on a narcissist, once you stop feeding that ego, stop explaining, stop justifying, they don't just get mad. Oh no, they go strategic. That's when the smear campaign begins. Think of it like this. They feel like they're losing the game, so they flip the board. They don't just want to make you the villain in their story. They want everybody else to believe it too. And baby, they move fast. They start making calls, sending messages, whispering in ears, twisting the truth so smooth you'd think they practiced it in front of a mirror. Their mission, simple. Destroy your reputation before you can tell your side. They paint you as unstable, toxic, cold-hearted, even abusive. They frame your silence as ghosting, your boundaries as games, and your self-respect as emotional immaturity. They don't tell people what they did. They skip that part entirely. Instead, they curate a perfect little victim story where they were just trying to love you and you snapped for no reason. It's not just a lie, it's a performance. They need sympathy like plants need sunlight, and they'll burn bridges to stay in the spotlight. And they don't stop with strangers. Oh no, they'll go after mutual friends, family members, coworkers, anyone who knows both of you. Because the narcissist doesn't just want to hurt your name. They want to isolate you. They want you to lose support. Why? Away, because the fewer people you have around you, the easier it is for them to spin the narrative unchallenged. If you're standing alone, they can frame that as proof that you were the problem all along. See how slick that is. They don't just lead, they plan. They'll even use your own words against you. Anything you confided in them before, the vulnerable stuff, the stuff you shared when you trusted them, suddenly becomes gossip fuel. You told them you struggled with anxiety. Away. Now you're emotionally unstable. You mentioned a toxic ex. Now you are the one who never healed. That's what narcissists do. Away. They take your truth and twist it just enough to make themselves look right. It's dirty, it's cold, but it's effective if you're not prepared for it. And here's what makes it worse. They do it with charm. They don't scream and shout. No, they lower their voice, add a touch of concern, and say things like, away. I just don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. Or I really tried to help them. Away. But some people can't be helped. That ain't concern. That's character assassination in disguise. It's an attempt to assassinate your name with a smile on their face and a lie on their lips. And most folks won't even realize they're being played. Then comes the smear campaign 2.0, the digital edition. You might see them posting vague quotes, sad captions, or stories that clearly point at you without ever saying your name. Away. Some people only love you when they can use you. Watch out for fake friends. I gave my all and got blamed for everything. It's not subtle, it's strategic. Away. It's public image warfare. And what they're hoping for is simple, that you'll break your silence, defend yourself, and give them more fuel to twist. Because in the narcissist world, the truth isn't what matters, it's the story they can sell. Now listen, one of the first masks a narcissist grabs when you stop talking to them is that cool, unbothered one. They slide it on like they're auditioning for the role of totally over it. You stop texting, stop explaining, stop reacting, and all of a sudden, they act like you never even matter, like they're out here chilling, smiling, living their best life. But let me tell you something real, that I don't care look. It's a performance. Underneath that poker face is a storm of panic, pride, and plotting. See, narcissists can't let the world know they've been rejected. That messes with their image, and image is everything to them. So they get real busy real fast, posting photos, pretending to be happy, acting like life is going amazing without you. That's not peace, it's PR. It's ego maintenance. They're trying to rewrite the story before you can even process the first chapter of your healing. And trust me, every "I'm so blessed" post and every "just living, no drama" quote is aimed right at you. You'll see them doing things they never cared about before, traveling, going to events, posting selfies with new people. Maybe even someone who looks suspiciously like a replacement, and the timing impeccable. Because narcissists don't move on, they perform moving on. They want to plant that seed of doubt in your mind. Maybe they really didn't care. Maybe I was the problem. That's not growth you're seeing, it's spite wearing sunglasses. What makes it worse is the calm. They won't reach out, they won't react. They go silent too, but it's not healing silence. It's strategic silence. It's the kind where they're watching you, waiting on you, hoping that you'll break first. Away. And when you don't, they double down on the chariot. They'll even start telling people, "I'm glad they're gone. I feel so much lighter without that negativity." Woo! That right there is psychological projection wrapped in a pretty bow. And let's be honest, it stings, because for a while you question yourself. You wonder how someone who once cried for you, begged for your love, held your hand like it meant everything, can now walk around acting like they never knew your name. But here's the secret they'll never admit. They do care. They care deeply, just not about you. They care about how they look, how they win, how they maintain the illusion that they're never affected, never rejected, never humble. But deep down, they're watching. They're checking your posts, asking around, maybe even using burner accounts to peek at your stories. They're trying to see if you're hurting, if you miss them, if you're regretting your silence. But they'll never show it. Narcissists don't deal with loss. They just pretend it didn't happen. That, "I don't care" act. It's nothing more than smoke and mirrors designed to protect the one thing they truly worship, their pride. Now let's talk about the Hoover. Yes, just like the vacuum cleaner, because that's exactly what narcissists do when you stop talking to them. They try to suck you right back in. You could have gone silent for your peace, for your healing, for your survival. But that silence, it bruises their ego. It messes with their delusion that they're irreplaceable. So when they realize they can't control you with guilt or drama, they switch to charm. They dust off that fake sweetness and start reeling you in like it's fishing season. At first it comes subtle, maybe a random, "Hey, how have you been?" Or "I had a dream about you last night." Maybe they send an old photo, a meme. A song y'all used to vibe to, something just innocent enough to pretend they're being friendly. But make no mistake, that message ain't innocent. That's a baited hook. That's them trying to test the waters, see if the door is still cracked open. Because they don't miss you, they miss the supply, the attention, the emotional control, the reaction. And if you don't bite right away, they step it up. You'll start hearing things like, "I've changed," or "I've been going to therapy," or "No one ever understood me like you." They pull out the emotional weapons of mass destruction. They act like they've had an awakening. They promise the world, "Speak your love language," and talk like they finally get it. But what they really want is to reset the game. To get you back where they had you, vulnerable, open, reactive, reachable. They even fake an apology, but watch this, it'll be vague, incomplete, and always end with, "But you have to admit you weren't perfect either." That's not accountability, that's a setup. They use just enough humility to lower your defenses. And the moment you step forward, bam, they reclaim control. And once they got you back in the loop, that sweet, soft tone starts to shift again. Because the Hoover was never about fixing the relationship. It was about fixing their discomfort with being ignored. What makes the Hoover so dangerous is it plays on your memory, your heart, your hope. You remember the good times, the sweet words, the potential. And they know that, so they push those buttons on purpose. It's not random, it's calculated. They know exactly what to say to get a reaction, to stir your emotions, to get just enough of your energy to feel like they're back in charge. And once they feel you slipping, they act like they've won the lottery. Because to a narcissist, your attention is currency. But here's what cuts the deepest. They don't care about how their re-entry messes with your healing. They don't care how hard it was for you to go no contact, how much strength it took to stay silent. That Hoover move is pure selfishness wrapped in flattery. It's all about making themselves feel powerful again. Because in their world, you don't have the right to move on, not without their permission. And if they sense that you're even thinking of closing that chapter for good, they'll try every trick in the book to vacuum you right back into their chaos. Once you stop talking to a narcissist, the victim mask comes out real quick. Suddenly, They become the misunderstood, mistreated, heartbroken hero of their own tragic story. The same person who once ignored your pain, dismissed your feelings, and twisted your words is now out here telling folks they were emotionally destroyed by you. That's the narcissist's favorite costume, the victim. And baby, they don't just wear it, they perform it. They'll cry on cue, exaggerate the facts, and rewrite history like it's an award-winning screenplay. They'll say things like, I gave everything and got nothing in return, or I love them so deeply and they just cut me off. But what they won't say is why you went silent. They leave out the lies, the manipulation, the emotional roller coaster they put you through, because being the villain, that takes accountability. And narcissists don't do accountability, they do auditions. They want applause, not consequences. So they spin the story until it looks like you were the cold one, the heartless one, the person who abandoned an innocent soul. What makes this dangerous is how convincing they can be. Narcissists are charming. They know how to make people feel for them. They can cry without tears, confess without truth, and act broken while still plotting behind the scenes. They'll share just enough personal pain to sound genuine, but it's always controlled. It's always rehearsed. They don't open up to heal. They open up to manipulate. And the people around them, most of them don't even realize they're being pulled into a show, not a story. They especially love doing this with mutual friends and family. They'll reach out saying things like, I don't know what I did wrong, or I just want closure, knowing full well they've done 100 things to break you. But to everyone else, they sound so sincere, so wounded, and that's the trick. They build a web of sympathy while you're out here trying to process pain in silence. They paint you as the person who ghosted them, when really all you did was finally choose peace over chaos. Even worse, if you try to defend yourself, they flip the script again. See, look how aggressive they are. I tried to be kind, and this is what I get. It's a trap, a rigged game. The minute you speak up, they twist your words to fit their victim story even better. That's why they love this role. It gives them power with none of the responsibility. They weaponize pity like a sword and expect the world to comfort them, while you're left trying to explain a truth no one wants to hear. And here's the darkest part. Some people will believe them, because narcissists study people. They know how to say just the right thing with just the right amount of emotion at just the right time. They don't need facts. They just need feelings on their side. And once they've cast themselves as the wounded one, they walk away from the mess they made with clean hands and a crowd clapping behind them. Meanwhile, you're still picking up the pieces, wondering how someone could hurt you so deeply and still make it look like you're the one who broke them. So the next time you go silent on a narcissist, remember, you didn't lose control. You reclaimed it. Your silence isn't weakness. It's power. It's healing. It's you finally choosing peace over chaos, truth over illusion. Yourself over their ego. They'll scream with their actions. They'll twist the narrative. They'll wear masks and play roles and make it look like you never mattered. But deep down, they know exactly why you walked away. And that silence, it cuts deeper than any words ever could. Because for the first time, they ain't in charge of the script. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them explanations. And you sure don't owe them another chance to damage what you've spent your soul rebuilding. Let them perform. Let them lie. Let them miss the version of you they can never control again. Because when you stop talking to a narcissist, you're not being cruel. You're being free. And baby, freedom makes a noise that silence will never need to explain. So let them watch, let them wonder. And while they're busy spinning stories, you go live your truth in peace, in power, and without apology.